My name is Rob Schmitz. I'm the China correspondent for Marketplace, and I'm the author of Street of Eternal Happiness, Big City Dreams Along a Shanghai Road. In the context of the book, I think that CK's father, the character of CK, who's the youngest character in my book, and his father, I think his father saw the system, quote unquote, as the party, as this, kind of this omnipresent communist party that sort of kept him from his dreams, and that's his father speaking. However, I think that in the book, I use that term to sort of talk not only about the party, but also about China's culture and the expectations that parents, for example, place on their children, which is also, it's a cultural system, it's a societal system. And a lot of the characters in this book spend a lot of time trying to navigate their way around this system, whether it be the government or whether it be a lot of the cultural expectations that are placed on them and societal expectations that are placed on them in order to achieve their dreams. I think it's up to the reader to kind of determine a lot of the bigger truths of this book. But I think when I was writing it, I was trying to capture a time in China's history where dreams were big and dreams were plentiful. And they were everywhere. And even the state had a big dream for the country, known as the Zhongguomeng, or the Chinese dream, which was a guiding principle from Xi Jinping. For the last 20 or 30 years, China's main dream has been to improve its economic standing. And I would say that the people of China were along for that ride. And they all had one dream. Everyone was united in improving their economic status. But now I think we're in an era where obviously the economy has done very well in China. It's grown double digits, and many people are comfortable. And naturally, they're dreaming of other things. And these dreams can range from spirituality, they can go to equality, they can go to justice, and all of these dreams are spread out. They spread like wildfire. In the background here, you've also got the Communist Party and Xi Jinping, who want the entire country to dream the China dream, or the Chinese dream. And that dream is a dream that puts the party and the nation first, and for its own prosperity and its own goals, and above, I think, individual dreams. It's an effort, I think, to corral people's individual dreams into one dream for China. But I think in many ways, the China dream came too late, because people will continue, obviously, to pursue their own dreams. And the Chinese dream will most likely end up just as written propaganda on signs along the street that I live on. There's another Chinese term that I think is a good theme for the people in my book, and I think a lot of people in China today, and that's 靠自己. Rely on yourself. Because if there's anything that you learn when you grow up in this society in China, you learn 靠自己, to rely on yourself, because you cannot rely on anyone else. You cannot depend on the state. Oftentimes you cannot depend on your family. You hope you can, but sometimes that doesn't work out so well. You can't rely on anyone. You can rely on yourself, though, and if you believe in yourself and you can rely on yourself, and if you have strong self-reliance, I think you can go pretty far in China. And I think that the characters who 靠自己 are the ones who go the farthest in this book. The other decision that I made when I was writing the book is I wanted to, I was choosing different characters to profile for the book. I wanted to make sure that I had a good a difference of generation among the characters. And so you've got Auntie Fu, who comes from a generation in their 60s, who are sort of befuddled by all of the changes that's happened around them and really trying to make it, but aren't doing a very good job at it. And you've also got CK's generation. And he grew up in the 1980s. He grew up with a lot of pressure, an only child, a lot of pressure to succeed, and also surrounded by wealth, but with a better understanding about how to use a capitalist system to his favor. He's very entrepreneurial, and he doesn't mind taking risks. And I think that in the end, that serves him well, because he makes risky decisions that are counterintuitive, and they're good decisions. And I think in many ways, young people in China today, the ones who take risks are usually the ones who make it. But I think that there's a lot of pressure against taking those risks. But from what I've learned, the people that I've seen, the ones who do take those risks, they may fail once or twice, but they learn a lot, and by the time that they're in their third try or third attempt, they do a very good job. Every single character in this book has a pretty dark background, including the youngest guy, who actually tries to kill himself at 11 years old. So they all come from pretty miserable backgrounds, but they all do their best to succeed and to dream and to make their lives better. And it's an eternal quest for many of them. And some of them, fail left and right, and they don't really make it. But I think what I wanted to capture through talking about these journeys, where these are some of these backgrounds are so dark, and then they end up having a lot of hope and actually a lot of success later on, is that in my view, the Chinese people are they struggle and they fight and they work very, very hard. And the people on my street, as I got to know them, I realized how much they had been through and how hard they work to get where they've gotten in their lives. And that to me is an inspiration. All of my characters have been inspiring for me, each one of them. And so I in many ways, this is the reason why I wanted to write this book. I wanted to show that, and to show where they come from, to explain their background, and to give some sense of why they make the decisions that they made in their lives.